Hare Krishna. Welcome all to another evening program at Iskcon Coventry Temple. I, Prem Prakash Gaurdas, would like to welcome you all. Just before we begin, I would like to ask everyone can hear me? All right, that's wonderful. Hare Krishna. So I hope everyone can hear me. So I'm Prem Prakash Gaurdas, would like to welcome you all in the another evening program at Iskcon Coventry Temple. Hari Bol. So we have lots of devotee today, and we would like everyone to thank everyone, Hare Krishna, for joining us at evening program, and everyone who is watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Zoom program as well. And to begin with, we are going to take blessings from Srila Prabhupada by Guru Pura. And after that, we'll be listening to Srila Prabhupada and then Bhajan and Kirtan from the temple itself, followed by class by Guru Sevik Prabhu, and then again Gaura Arti, Nasimha Arti, and we'll like to then actually set the mood for Nasimha Jayanti as well. Nasimha Chaturdasi. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhagati Satma Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Guru Maharaj ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So the next section we will go and listen to a lecture from Srila Prabhupada and take his blessings. So meanwhile we are setting up for the lecture, I would like to let you know that temple is opening up and it's open on the pre-booking basis. So anyone who would like to come down to temple, I would request to please come down at temple. Please send the nominations to Anuragi Mataji and Guru Seva Prabhu, and the visit can be arranged. Also, we are going to set up for Nasim Chaturdasi next. We are going to have a very wonderful festival, Nasim Chaturdasi. And today's Sunday, we just have got 1 week to prepare for that. So if you would like to contribute, participate, or do any kind of performance, kirtans, please let us know. Also, if you can't actually personally, physically participate, it's also very important to understand that we can still participate. And the way of participating is doing giving monetary favor. Just keep it. So donations are welcome. So this is another way. Even if you're away from temple, you still have opportunity to serve the lordships, and the lordship would accept your offerings. You can sponsor bhoga. You can also sponsor garlands. You can also sponsor decorations. There's a lot of effort goes behind that, and every bit is actually accepted by Lord. In this way, you'll have mercy as well. So wouldn't like to waste any further time, and we would like to go and listen to Srila Prabhupada lecture. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
But I simply tried to satisfy my Guru. That's all. My Guru Maharaj asked me that if you get some money, you print books. So, there was a private meeting talking, some about my important God brother, it was in Radha Kunda. So, Guru Maharaj was speaking to me that since we have got this Bhagavatam and marble temple, there has been so many dissensions. And everyone is thinking, we'll occupy this room or that room, that room. I wish therefore to sell this temple and the marble and print some book. Yes. So I took up this from his mouth that he is very fond of books. And he told me personally that if you get some money, print books. Therefore I am stressing on this point. Where is book? Where is book? Where is book? So kindly help me. This is my request. Print as many books in as many languages and distribute throughout the whole world. Then Krishna consciousness movement will automatically ease. Here, everyone is engaged to rise early in the morning for offering arati to the deity. They are preparing nice food, they are decorating, making garland. So many engagements. They are going for some kirtan party, they are canvassing. This kind of objection are always made by the atheist class. We can spend all the money of the world. Unfortunately, you do not give us money. Mahaprabhu, they have already taken
American temples would purchase rooms, and over a period of 4 or 5 years, they would pay that money back. So is that still approved by you, by your divine grace?
Yes, I love it.
The only thing is that we will have to delay the loan because for the next
You must always keep it. When you require money for printing, there is no question of loan at temple. This should be our
So, Hare Krishna. Thank you. That was a wonderful lecture. Although in the temple we have got less opportunity to listen to the lecture, it was rather silence, but I'm pretty sure that you would have actually taken enough inspiration because Srila Prabhupada would be blessing while he is giving lecture. So now we are going to Bhajan and Kirtan section. And I would like to invite Naval Prabhu and Ritika Mataji for the Bhajan and Kirtan section. On Mridanga, we have Guru Sevak Prabhu. He's later on giving lecture as well. So, and supporting will be Shani and everyone in the temple. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Ram Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Only Mike. So Ishani, you going to say?
No, you say.
Sing Mahamantra. Nimai, come and play Mardana. Come. Aja, aja, Mardana.
कुंज विहारी जय राम कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe Radha Madhava, Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Radhe Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, 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 Radhe Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Sachidanand, Jaya Nitya, Jaya Sachidanand, Jaya Nitya, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, 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 Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura. की जय।
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
जय।
Round of applause for Jani Mai for playing the Bhajan.
Or you can turn all the other microphones off. Use this one. Yeah. No. Receive this.
If the children get noisy, they'll have to leave, yeah? Yeah. You play in the back room, yeah? If they can. If they understand the class, I'll give them round of applause.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya
Aranjana Shalakaya.
Chakshurunmilitam Yena
Shurumilitam Yena.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda
Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadara
Advaita Gadadhara.
Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yad kripatamaham vande paramananda madhava Shri Guru Dinatarino. So hello everyone, welcome to Sunday program. So the class today will be from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Verse 44. So it'll be a series of verses. Do you mind if we close that door? So the shlokas is two of them together. So it's a little long. So I'll just do all of the recitation myself and save the normal process. So Kashyap uvacha krita shokanutapena sadya pratyavamarsanat bhagavati uru manakcha bhave mai api chadarat putrasyeva cha putranam bhaveteka satam mataha Gashyanti yad yasya sudam bhagavat yasya samam. So there's a series of shlokas we're going to go through. So a little bit of context. This is after Diti had united with Kashyap and was told that she was going to have all the demons as her offspring. So she was obviously distressed. So, and she prayed, out of lamentation, she prayed to Kashyap saying, please do something. So the learned Kashyap said, because of your lamentation, penitence and proper deliberation, and also because of your unflinching faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, your adoration for Lord Shiva and me, one of the sons, Prahlad, of your son Hiranyakashipu, will be an approved devotee of the Lord, and his fame will be broadcast equally with that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So look at this. This is incredible. Lord Nrsingadev and Lord Prahlad Maharaj are synonymous. You can't say one without the other, because Lord Nrsingadev specifically appeared to protect Prahlad Maharaj. With the other avatars, you can say, well, they came for this purpose, that purpose. Lord Nrsingadev came because Prahlad Maharaj was in danger. He came just to protect him. So if we go to the next shloka, it says, in order to follow in his footsteps, saintly persons will try to emulate his character by practicing freedom from animosity, just as the purifying processes rectify gold of inferior quality. This is very important. Saintly persons will try to emulate his character. Now, even Yudhishthira Maharaj was very affectionate towards Prahlad Maharaj. And if you look, Yudhishthira Maharaj himself went through such difficult time with Duryodhana and all of his relatives, just like Prahlad Maharaj went through such a difficult time with his father. So you can see Yudhishthira Maharaj would be emulating much of Prahlad Maharaj's character. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, yoga practice, the process of purifying one existential identity, is based mainly on self-control. Without self-control, one cannot practice freedom from animosity. In the conditioned state, every living being is envious of another living being. But in the liberated state, there is an absence of animosity. Prahlad Maharaj was tortured by his father in so many ways. Yet, after the death of his father, he prayed for his father's liberation by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He did not ask any benediction that he might have asked, but he prayed that his atheistic father might be liberated. And he never cursed any of the persons who engaged in torturing him at the instigation of his father. Look at that. With us devotees, as soon as someone does anything wrong to us, even the devotees, immediately we get upset towards them. Immediately they say, oh, Krishna, why don't you do something about it? Prahlad Maharaj, he's one of the ones where if he had asked Krishna to do something about it, Krishna would have done something about it. Prahlad Maharaj said he didn't curse any of them. Because remember, these are saintly people, Prahlad Maharaj is. When they curse, it has an effect. Like, they can do some damage, but they never do. Because they say that when you refuse to defend yourself, then Krishna steps in. If you're busy defending yourself, Krishna is like, well, I don't need to do anything. You're already handling it. So Prahlad Maharaj was so amazing. There's something I read earlier today where Prahlad Maharaj was saying, Prahlad Maharaj, you were tortured so much. You were going through so much difficulty and suffering. How did you go through these things? And Prahlad Maharaj said, because my happiness is based on two things which is not related to material miseries. He goes, listening, Shravanam, and Kirtanam. He goes, these two things make me happy in whatever situation I'm in. So even if I'm being tortured, even if other things, I'm just doing Shravanam and Kirtanam, and I'm always happy. And I thought, isn't that an amazing thing? That these two things are also available to us. Yet, when we go through so much suffering, does it not affect us? This is where this Prahlad Maharaj and other saintly personalities are an inspiration to us. Because that Mahamantra and that listening to the Lord's pastimes is available to us all. But how much do we actually avail of it? We always find excuse, I probably didn't get a chance to read today, or I couldn't log into the Zoom today, or I haven't had a chance to finish my rounds today. And we're, but I'm suffering really badly. I've got this wrong, that wrong, that wrong. And you see, well, probably the solution to the problem might not be there, but relief from the problem can be there. There's two different things. Solution, we were saying earlier today, misery means that thing which can't be avoided, and also you can't do anything about it. So it's not possible to avoid it, and it's not possible to do anything about it. That's real misery. But if you're in that situation, there's one thing you can do is like Prahlad Maharaj, listen to the pastimes of the Lord and do kirtanam. In that way, even in that, you can be happy. So this is very nice. So the next verse says, everyone will be pleased with him because the personality of Godhead, the supreme controller of the universe, is always satisfied with a devotee who does not wish for anything beyond him. So it's saying that the Lord is always satisfied with the devotees that do not wish for anything beyond him. Devotees wish for everything except for Krishna, isn't it sometimes? Krishna, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. When do we say, Krishna, give me you? We basically do the Duryodhan. Everyone knows this katha. Before the start of the Mahabharata war, the Yadu dynasty had not decided to enter or not. And Duryodhan and Arjun both went to see Krishna. Because even though Ugrasenji was the leader, everyone knew Krishna's in charge of the Yadavas. He's basically the head. So, forgive me if I got the details. Oh, that's it, I know. Arjun was sitting at the feet of Krishna and Duryodhan was sitting next to his head. So when Krishna, and he was there first. When Krishna woke up, he was taking rest. He saw Arjun at his feet and he said, Arjun, what do you want? Why have you come? And Duryodhan tapped him on the shoulder and goes, I'm here too. I was here first. It's like, okay, Krishna's like, I've opened a shop, please come in. But this is, and Lord Krishna said to Duryodhan, he goes, that's fine, I appreciate you were here first. Arjun is junior to you. So typically you let the juniors ask questions first. So Duryodhan thought, rats, he's going to ask for Krishna's army and I'm going to just end up with nothing. So Krishna said, one thing is though, understand why you both are here. In this battle, you can either have my armies or you can either have me, and I will not fight. Everyone knew how good Krishna was as a fighter. Even then, trust me, there's a grapevine even now, like Twitters and all these things. They didn't need that back then. The word got around everywhere. Krishna's killed so many demons. Krishna's defeated so many of these demons that came to Vrindavan, conquered Jarasandha and others. It was known. So he asked Arjun, what would you like? And Arjun said, well, I just want you, Krishna. And Krishna goes, but I'm not going to fight. He goes, yeah, that's fine. But you just drive my chariot. And Duryodhan is laughing inside, thinking, what an idiot. What has he done? Why has he picked Krishna? And then Duryodhan was like, okay, well, if Arjun, my Anuj, has picked first, so I guess I'll have to have the armies then. And when he went back and told Shakuni, he went back to Shakuni and he said, I did something amazing, you know. He goes, Arjun foolishly picked Krishna. And he's not even going to fight. What's he going to do? Because I got the whole army. And Shakuni goes, you idiot. He goes, Krishna alone, even if he's not fighting, is greater than so many armies. He goes, you just lost the battle right there. Shakuni knew. And Shakuni actually knew many times that if anyone was going to foil his plots and schemes, it was either going to be Vidar or Lord Krishna. So he made pains to make sure Vidar or Lord Krishna don't find out about many of his plans. So you might think, well, I haven't got a Mahabharata war coming, or at least we hope not. Why do I need Krishna? So there's another Leela, another Katha even. So King was very, very happy one day. He was very happy with everyone in his kingdom. And he said to everyone, I'll give out anything you like, anything you want. So all the members of his kingdom could come to the kingdom and ask him for something. So people started to turn up and go, oh, King, I need so much gold. I need so many cows. I need so much land. This and that. And the king had a favorite servant. King said to the servant, what do you want? He goes, no, I don't want anything. He goes, no, ask me for something. He goes, no, I don't want anything. It's just, you're dear to me. I serve you out of love. I just want you to come to my house for a meal. And the king goes, is that it? Are you sure? He goes, no, that's all I want. He goes, no, but I can give you gold. You're living in a poverty condition. I can give you everything you want. He goes, no, just come to my house for a meal. That's all I want. The king said, okay, no problem. So we'll book it in. He goes, next week, I'll come on Monday to your house for a meal. So he got happy, went home. Later on that week, a few days before, suddenly a whole entourage showed up outside his little jaumpri. And he goes, what are you doing here? He goes, the king is coming to your house for a meal. He goes, you can't eat in a place like this. Because you get out for a few days and then come back. When he got out, they built a whole palace there for the king, all nice halls, nice arrangement, everything like that. And then the king came to visit. And he goes, oh, you got a nice home. And so the servant happily hosted the king there, fed him very nicely. So do you see, he didn't have to ask for anything. He just asked for the king to come to his house for a meal. So this is the same thing with the Lord. He said, look, Krishna says, everyone will be pleased with him, meaning Prahlad Maharaj, because the Lord's always satisfied with the devotee that does not wish for anything beyond him. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita as well, maybe you know this, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye janaha paryupaste tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. That person who's always engaged of thinking with me with devotion, I carry what he lacks and I preserve what he has. I always used to love this as a youngster. When you're studying for exams, what you lack is a lot of knowledge to pass the exam. So I'm like, if I meditate on the Lord will give me that knowledge, and touch with most of the time, almost all the time, Lord Krishna help. So this is what a devotee does. He'll always ask for the Lord. And if you look at it in this way, look into this a little bit deeper. Out of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu, who did the most penances? By far. Even he did more penances than almost anyone in history has done. His parishram, significant. Okay? What austerities did Prahlad Maharaj do? Yeah, but not much. He when they captured him, his mother, Indradev, when Hiranyakashipu was doing austerities, Indra attacked his capital and captured Kayadu, his mother. And Narad Muni told them, no, he goes, look, the soul in this womb, even if you try, you ain't going to be able to do any damage. It's like, you can try everything you've got. Nothing's going to harm that child. He goes, leave the child with me. And the Kayadu stayed with Narad Muni, and Narad Muni basically in the womb taught Prahlad Maharaj anything. Of the two, Hiranyakashipu did mega austerities for thousands of years. He pleased Lord Brahma, got boons that he couldn't be killed by morning, evening, inside, outside, by human being, by animal, all of these little variations. Yet who was the one that's unkillable? Prahlad Maharaj. So all of that effort on one side versus surrendering to the Lord on this side, Prahlad Maharaj was superior. So it's not always that person that does the most effort, he's going to achieve the most success. It says a devotee isn't dependent on the ordinary course of activities. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean devotee should just do nothing, sit in his house, and wealth will come and everything else will come? No, it doesn't mean that. It means that you work hard for Lord Krishna. Prahlad Maharaj actually said, one of his prayers, he said Prahlad Maharaj didn't give that much importance to things like economic development or trying very hard to become happy in this world. Economic development, yeah, to run your family, etc., you must do. But to become happy, he didn't give a lot of stress to. And the reason is, Prahlad Maharaj said happiness, just like distress, will come automatically. We don't want distresses to come. We even sitting at home, distresses will come to you. So Prahlad Maharaj's opinion, happiness will also just come to you. He goes, but what people should make effort for is to increase their devotion to the Lord. That's what his emphasis is. Rather than try in the pursuit of happiness, there's a film that came out, they should be in the pursuit of devotion to the Lord. And Prahlad Maharaj, this was exemplified when Prahlad Maharaj was speaking to his childhood classmates. Bearing in mind, Prahlad Maharaj is 5 years old. So who of the children is 5 now? Do we have any 5-year-olds left anymore?
How old is the picture?
Tatiksha must be 5. She's 6. So a year younger than Tatiksha. And he's already a pure devotee and giving pravachan to his classmates. His classmates are like, why are you telling us this now? We're 5. Like, we want to play. Now's the time to play. And Prahlad Maharaj actually went around and showed out of 100 years that you live, if half of them are lost in sleep, he goes, that's 50 years. If you live 100 years, that's 50 years gone. In playing when you're boyhood, like it's like 10 years. Then when you're older, it was working and your family, and you cut another 20 years. As it boiled down to, you only had 10 years of your life to actually do devotion. That's 10 years if you live to 100. How many people live to 100 nowadays? Not many. Well, Queen, hopefully, for her jubilee. And but other than that, 10 years. So you have 10 years in order to do some spiritual activity and achieve like devotion to the Lord and love for the Lord. Not much time. So Prahlad Maharaj said, Kaumara acharet pragya dharman bhagavataniha dullabam manusha janma tadapi adruvam arthadam. That Kaumara acharet pragya, that when you're young, you should actually take up this work of self-realization. Kaumara acharet pragya dharman bhagavataniha dullabam manusha janma. This body is very rare to achieve. So we should take this opportunity right from when we're young, because you can't say, well, I'm going to do it when I get old, because you've used up all of that time. And then in your old age, can you do devotional service? And Haridas Prabhu made a lovely point. Your devotional service and sadhana is two different things. The key word is service. Guru Maharaj used to say loving devotional service. When people used to come and take darshan of Guru Maharaj when he would stay at different people's ashrams, Guru Maharaj asked them first, did you go to the temple first? And if they said no, Guru Maharaj goes, why have you come to see me then? Go to the temple and then come back here. So Guru is always interested in the service that you give, meaning service to the temple, service to the lordships, service to other devotees, preaching service, book distribution. These are the kind of things that are service for the movement. Your own personal sadhana and everything is for your own deliverance. And in fact, there's a shloka we'll come on to here where it says, got it here, 1 second. Okay, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, 944. So he said, Prahlad Maharaj is saying, my dear Lord Nrsingadev, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance. It's Prahlad Maharaj saying this. There's many saintly persons, but they're interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, mourn vrat. They are not interested in delivering others. Look how Srila Prabhupada is amazing. He's the opposite of this. He's a saintly person that went from Radha Damodar temple inside Vrindavan all the way to America. Radha Damodar temple is amazing. If you've been there, you don't want to leave. They have such beautiful kirtans in the middle of Vrindavan. Imagine going from there to Bowery in New York. It was like a hellish condition Srila Prabhupada's going in. We were hearing some leelas of Srila Prabhupada when he first went there, and devotees are saying Srila Prabhupada was staying in some property there that this musician had rented out, and he wanted to do music there, and he left it, and he let Srila Prabhupada stay there. He goes, you can stay there, I've got the rent for a few months. But he also told some of his friends that they could stay there. So Prabhupada is staying with two of these other people that are just totally materialistic. And he said in the fridge there, Srila Prabhupada had to keep his ration, his bhoga, next to meat and stuff. Can you imagine a sadhu that's gone from Vrindavan to sharing a fridge like a uni student with some guys with meat and everything in there? And they used to take turns every other day to cook. I heard this class, someone was giving a class on Prabhupada's life, and he goes, they used to take turns to cook. And when it came to Srila Prabhupada's turn, his cooking was so nice, they said, Srila Prabhupada, can you cook for us every day? Because your cooking is so nice. So you can see the kind of condition Srila Prabhupada was living in there. And one of the guys actually was staying with Prabhupada on drugs, and he just went mad. And like I tried to attack Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada had to leave there. So you can see Srila Prabhupada is living in such a condition after leaving Vrindavan. So this is actually what Prahlad Maharaj is saying Srila Prabhupada and other sadhus should do. And they do. They come out to these places. So it said, Srila Prahlad Maharaj is saying, as for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone. He's saying, I don't wish to be liberated just by myself, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. Again, he's 5 years old, but he's a pure devotee of the Lord. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. See, look how amazing this is. This is what sadhu means. He's always interested in the welfare of others. This is where the difference between a devotee, just an ordinary devotee, and a sadhu. There's a distinction being made there. It's not the saffron cloth. It's not, I tie my dhoti in this way and I have the nice top piece that Guru Maharaj used to wear. Sadhu means he cares about other people. He cares about their welfare. So Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Prahlad, they were like this. And in fact, there's a lovely, I'll read you a nice discussion on Prahlad Maharaj. It's very nice. 1 second, let me get it up. So there's a shloka which actually describes Prahlad Maharaj's qualities. It's very nice. And hold on. Okay. So the shloka is from, I think it's Srimad Bhagavatam 7:4, 31 and 32. And it says, Brahmanya Shila Sampanna Satya Sando Jitendriya Atmavat Sarvabhutanam Eka Priya Suhrittama Dasavat Sanatarayangri Pitravad Deenavatsala Britrat Sadrishe Snigdo Gurush Ishvara Pavana Vidyartha Rupa Janmadyo Manastamba Vivarjitaha. So these are all the qualities of Bhakti Prahlad mentioned in these verses. So Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. He was completely cultured as a qualified Brahman, possessing all good qualities. So that's the first one. So even though he's born in the family of demons, he's completely cultured as a qualified Brahman. So Shamo, Dhamma, Tapa, Socham, all of them from Bhagavad Gita. Satya Sanda, he was determined to understand the absolute truth. So Vivaswan Prabhu came today and he says something really, really nice. He goes, when you have some Krishna conscious desire to do something Krishna conscious, he goes, don't just have a desire to do it. He goes, have a strong desire to do it. It's the difference between I have a desire to do something, a strong desire. It's like I have a desire to run a marathon. I have a very strong desire, I'm running a marathon next week. That's strong desire. So this is, he was determined to understand the absolute truth. Jitendriya, he's fully controlled, senses and the mind. Atmavat Sarvabhutanam, like the super soul, he was very kind to every living entity. So that you can see this beautiful quality. Eka Priya Suhrittama, he was the best friend of everyone. Can you see like a pattern here? Devotees that are very self-centered or called kripana, miserly. They don't actually like to look at the welfare of others. There are some that are considered like that, and they're considered prakrita bhaktas, very lowest level. They don't really care about anyone else. They just care about myself, my kutum. Whereas devotees are always looking out for the welfare of others. That's the key difference. Dasavat Santa Agra Angrihi. To respectable elders, he was very obedient, acting exactly like a menial servant. Look at this. You see so many youngsters in our movement nowadays. They can play a bit of mridanga, sing a little bit nicely. All of a sudden, Prabhu, I'm the reincarnation of Lord Stani Mahaprabhu, don't you know? They don't consider anyone. Look at Prahlad Maharaj. He is a Mahajan at 5 years old, yet to respectable elders, He's very obedient, acting like a menial servant. If Prahlad Maharaj can do it, everyone can do it. Everyone should do it. Doesn't matter who you are or what you can do, what you think you can do. Because reality is all we do is desire. Krishna is doing everything else. So this is really important. Respect your elders. We've always been taught that as youngsters. We grew up like that. You should all teach your children to behave like that. If you see them disrespecting elders, correct them. Don't just say, oh, I never forced my child to do anything. Well, then Maya's going to take over and she'll force them to do a lot of things. If you don't force them, Maya will, trust me. So please instill nice qualities like this in your children. Pitrava Deenavatsala, to the poor, he was very kind, like a father. Remember, he's Kshatriya, the ruling class. This is how they are. They donate, they do a lot of welfare work. Bhatravat Sadrashe Snigdha, to the equals, he was affectionate, like a sympathetic brother. Gurushva Ishvara Bhavana, he considered his teachers, spiritual masters, and older god brothers to be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See this, even including older god brothers. So we must don't just think, oh, that's my spiritual master and everyone else I don't care for. Prabhu, my Guru Maharaj didn't tell me anything, so you can't tell me anything, even if you're the senior god brother. And it's like, okay. So if you avoid the association with spiritual master long enough, you won't get any instructions, Prabhu. You'll be fine for the rest of your life. Isn't it? You know, we're very good at selective memory. This is the great thing. And it's become more of a fashion now. If you don't want to follow any instructions, just don't read any books. If you don't read any books, there'll be no one to tell you anything. So you can just do your rounds and feel happy that you're doing great. That's called Tamogun. Srila Prabhupada instituted, you read half an hour of his books every day because he knows everything. Srila Prabhupada knew in the future, people will just do a few of the items of sadhana and feel really happy. But what did Prahlad Maharaj say comes first? Does Kirtanam come first or does Shravanam come first? Shravanam. Prahlad Maharaj is also very clever. He knew if I put Kirtanam first, everyone's going to, Prabhupada, chanting my round. I need to listen to you. Holy name is the way, not listening name. No, Prahlad Maharaj put Shravanam. Shravanam comes first. First you listen. Then Kirtanam actually means to glorify the Lord. If you're chanting, watching TV, doing something else, you're not even glorifying the Lord. You're finishing your counting for the day of Mahamantra. That's not glorification of the Lord. Glorifying is like the devotees do, Haridas Prabhu, Vidya Prabhu, and others do in the evening, where we have charcha of the Lord, where we actually discuss the subject matter. He actually says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Vishnu says, Naham tishtami vekunte, yoginam hridiyeshuva, mad bhakta yatra gayanti, tatra tishtami narada. Lord Vishnu says, I'm not in Vaikuntha. I don't live there. I'm not in the heart of my devotees. I am where people are discussing about me and relishing my pastimes. When we do that discussion, Krishna is also logged in on Zoom. Do you know that? He is logged in on Zoom because he's listening to you talking about him. It says it in Srimad Bhagavatam, maybe not the Zoom bit, but the bit where it says Krishna is present. Trust me. So this is where Shravanam, then Kirtanam. Exactly, they're on. They got their own login as well, actually, to do. At the temple, no, seriously, the temple logs in, so the Lord is on. So, Atma, sorry, hold on, we've done that one. So, Vidartha Rupa Janmadyo Manastamba Vivarjitaha. He was completely free from unnatural pride that arises from good education, riches, beauty, aristocracy, and so on. You can see in this world, as soon as anyone has any of these things, okay, but why don't you go and have a look, because maybe Gerald is not stands. Simply, so possessing all of these things, if anyone else possessed them in the world, they would be considered to be, they would be very, very proud. Can you imagine? Good education. As soon as somebody goes to Oxford, Cambridge, something like that, you see them, that person studied at Oxford. As soon as if Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or someone walked in, you think, oh my God, he's so rich. Oh my God, he's so famous. Beauty, aristocracy, etc. People had these qualities, they immediately get proud. But Prahlad Maharaj is completely free from this. And in fact, those people are even more attractive. When you see someone like that, that has all these things, and yet they're very personable, down to earth, you just think, oh my God, how are you doing this? This is incredible. Because normally the people walk up with, Ed, you know who I am? So it's actually even a more increase of qualities. And it says here, simply by possessing these transcendental qualities, Prahlad Maharaj was able to attract the attention of the Lord. So it's not that, oh, Prahlad Maharaj had all of these things, but he also did some mala and so Krishna came out. No, no, no. Because of these things, he was able to attract the attention of the Lord, which is not possible by any amount of self-motivated austerities and penances. So what Hiranyakashipu couldn't do with the loads of austerities and penances, Prahlad Maharaj did just by having these wonderful qualities. So you can see how, isn't it important that we work on ourselves? Many times people think, well, if I just do the mala like this and do a little bit of the other stuff I'm doing, I can be a horrible person. And you know, Prabhu, I'm going back to Godhead. Really? You're going to go back by being Hiranyakashipu? He did loads of penances too. Dravan did so many penances. Or if you notice, all the demons, they're pretty austere. Very, very much so. They do more penances than the devotees do. They really do. But the devotees take shelter of the Lord. That's what they do. And that's not easy. We would think, oh, keep shelter. Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'll just sit at home and do nothing and take shelter, Prabhu. The devotees are busy 24 hours a day serving the Lord. They're both busy. One is busy for himself. One's busy for Krishna. And for taking care of others, as you've seen in Prahlad Maharaj's character. So the Lord, it says here, the Lord is easily pleased by simple and straightforward devotional qualities. But any amount of artificial and complicated gymnastics will not attract his attention. He is the closest observer as to what is going on in our minds, and thus can never be cheated. This is the thing, you can fool everybody else. How are you going to fool Krishna? Prabhu actually said this today as well. Because you can fool everyone else, you can't fool Krishna because he's sitting there watching you saying, I know what you're doing. This is the thing. So as devotees, it's very nice to be straightforward. Very nice. Be polite. Be caring towards your fellow devotees. All of these nice qualities, if you notice, many of Prahlad Maharaj's qualities, best friend of everyone, very kind like a father, affectionate like a sympathetic brother. This has got nothing to do with him. This has got to do with how he treats others. So remember that. This is really important. As devotees, we have a responsibility to help other people. And don't think just because, oh, I have this one person that I keep trying to help and he doesn't take my advice. Someone asked Guru Maharaj once, and they asked in a class, Guru Maharaj is the one person I'm trying to preach to for the last so many years. He's not accepting what I said. And Guru Maharaj stopped him halfway through the question. He goes, whoa, stop. What are you doing? There's loads of other people out there waiting for you to come. Stop wasting your time on this person. He goes, there's plenty of other people out there. You cannot wake up someone who's pretending to sleep. You know, if a child's actually asleep and you go and shake the child up, he wakes up, oh, okay. If a child's pretending to sleep, you can wake it, shake it, put Barney on it, everything. Nothing's going to work because they're already pretending to sleep. So Haridas Prabhu said very nicely today, our job is to bring people to Krishna, not to make them into a devotee, because what can we do? We can't do that. You can bring a horse to water. You can't make him drink. That's a very old saying now, no one's got a horse and they don't really know you have to take him to Pani either. But take my word for it, in the old days, when you're riding your horse, the horse is thirsty, you got to find some water and make it drink. Okay, hold on. I was going to try and think of a modern example, like you can bring your Tesla to a charge point. No, you still need to plug it in. So yeah, so this is the thing. You can bring people to Krishna, but it's not your job to make them a devotee. Simply give them the process. And those that are further along in piety will actually take to the process more. And if they're not taking to it, understand that their pious credit isn't high enough yet. The association will bring that eventually. And that's why Srila Prabhupada, there's a nice quote. Srila Prabhupada is saying we should have centers where we give people prasad. But because by giving them prasad, you're increasing their piety, and eventually they will come to Krishna consciousness by it. That's what the prasad is doing. It's increasing their pious credits. So we're getting close to 6 o'clock now. So sorry, the class went a little bit around, but you see the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj. He's and Srila Prabhupada actually in many of his classes quotes Prahlad Maharaj extensively. I've been listening to them, and like every other one, Srila Prabhupada's quoting Prahlad Maharaj left and right. So, Putra Prahlad ki jai, Lona Singadeva ki jai. Hare Krishna. Any questions? Yes, Avtar.
You were saying that you were looking for a modern example.
Yes.
There is a modern example.
Go on then.
You can give somebody a nice new phone, but they've not learned to use it.
Yeah. You can give someone a nice phone, but they still need to learn how to use it. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's great.
Very good.
So thank you. Hanji.
On the mic. Otherwise, it's used now. Oh.
That's okay, that's a small question.
Yeah.
If you said that if we feed prasadam to everyone,
Yeah.
it increase the pious credit. So
You
like,
can go on the mic, so the viewers won't be able
Then I don't think they're on now. Oh, that one's on. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So very nice lecture, Prabhuji. So you just mentioned that if we give someone prasadam, it increases the pious credits. So what if like we give them without telling them it's prasadam, or like if we give them as sweets, then also it's the similar thing?
Yeah, because it's not the understanding. It's like, let's say, for example, if you don't tell someone that this food will nourish their body and they eat it, does it nourish their body? If it does, doesn't it? You don't have to tell them, this has got 20 vitamins in. It's full of magnesium. Prasad is like that. The spiritual quality is built in. Srila Prabhupada never used to tell them. You just say it's.
But if they come to the temple, they know it's prasad.
Yeah, but I think you must mean people outside, I guess. Yeah, so even outside, what I used to do, Brother Haridas used to do all the time when he was at work, taking a load of sweets from the temple. Everyone will come and have it. Oh, great, I love Indian food. And they'll eat it not knowing they're actually getting pakoras as well. So the same thing I used to do when I used to go to work in the office. You just take prasad and give it to them. You don't need, in fact, sometimes it helps not to tell them. So, do you like Indian food? Here, have some. It's like that. And once they take that in, the prasad goes in and does its magic. They don't need to understand why. I've done it in the past where even with Mahamantra, when I was doing Warwick University preaching, I ran the society there, started it for 13 years. And there's a clinical study which says Mahamantra, they gave it to people in a clinical study. So one of the groups was doing Mahamantra, one of them was doing some made up mantra. And they literally made up a Sanskrit mantra and told them, do this. So they did it 20 minutes a day for a month. And then they measured their stress levels before and afterwards. The Mahamantra group, at the end of the 20 days, their stress levels and depression were much less than the other group. And they didn't even know what it was. So I go, let me do this at university then. So I got them together and said, we've got a special mantra for you. It decreases stress and depression. I didn't tell them Mahamantra was the Lord and the Lord's energy. This and that. I told them, and Haridas Prabhu has been there. Here's a mantra, here's a bead, sit there and chant it for 20 minutes. And then tell us how you feel at the end. At the end of every single session, people are like, oh my God, that's amazing. I feel so wonderful. They didn't even need to ask, what is it? A lot of them just said, can I take the beads with me so I can do this at home as well? I didn't tell them what it was. And they actually got more benefit than devotees do. When you see devotees, most of the time, you see them with the bead bag, do they look happy or do they look parishan? I've got 14 rounds left, I've got to finish these. They got more benefit than we do out of it. And I didn't have to tell them even what it was. Literally, other societies would do the Mahamantra at the end, right at the end, and they would do it in kirtan. I would do it in week 2. Week 2, with a room full of 40 people, I just get them to do Mahamantra because I didn't need to explain anything to them. So spiritual stuff is amazing like that. Even without explanation, it works.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think we should get up for arti now. So Hare Krishna, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you. Another round of applause. Okay, who's going to sing Bhajan? Good question.
Okay.
All mics are energized. Sudarshan there. Sudarshan how's the student? Any volunteers?
Put the bar in.
Oh, he's not here.
He's in the bathroom.
Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Nitai Chan 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 Kiba Jaya Gaura Chande Aroti Kashobha
Gaura Chande Aroti Kashobha
Kiba Jayo Jayo Gaura Chande Aroti Kashobha
Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine
Namayo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitina
Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesho Navadi Pasyajani Shadarine
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvashesha Shunyavadi Pasyajani Shadarine
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jayo Sacinandana Gaura Hari, 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 Jai Sacinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Sacinandana Gaura Hari, Jai Nitajan, Jai Nitajan, Jai Nitajan, Ekachakrana, 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 Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura Gaura Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Gaura 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 Hari, Oh Nadiya Bihari, Gaura Hari, Nadiya Bihari, Gaura Hari, Oh Nadiya Bihari, Gaura Hari, Nadiya Bihari, Gaura Hari, Jagannath Swami Nayana Patagami, Nayana Patagami, Baba Tume, 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 Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, 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 Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Oh Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe
Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe
Jayo Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jayo Giri Govardhan
Jayo Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jayo Giri Govardhan
Jayo Shri Madhusudan Shri Madhusudan Shri Madhusudan Jayo Shri Madhusudan
Jayo Shri Madhusudan Shri Madhusudan Shri Madhusudan Jayo Shri Madhusudan
Jayo Manima 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 Jayo Manima
Jayo Manima 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 Jayo Manima
Jayo Sita Rama Lakshman Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman
Jayo Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Bol
Hamaro Dan Radha Ji Radha Ji Radha
Hamaro Dan Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha
He Hamaro Dan Radha 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 Radha
Hamaro Dan Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha
Bajore Man Radha 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 Radha
Bajore Man Radha 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 Radha
He Bajore Man Radha 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 Radha
Bajore Man Radha 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 Radha
He Hamaro Dan Madhusana Radha Shri Radha Shri Radha Bhajore Mata Radha 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 Ramadana Radha Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jagat Guru, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Jayo Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Patita Pava, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev, Patita Pava, Jai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Go Hari Bol, Nitai Go Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Nitai Go Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, 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 Hari
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत गोस्वामी ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। साक्षात वैराग्य मूर्ति श्रील गुरुदास महाराज की जय। सच्चिदानंद श्रील भक्ति ठाकुर महाराज की जय। वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास महाराज की जय। सर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्री सचिनंद निताय शांत की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। नीलाचल क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथ धाम की जय। मायापुर मधुमती धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद राधा माधव राधा भगवान की जय। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। गिरिराज गोवर्धन महाराज की जय। मधुसूदन महाराज की जय। मणिमा महाराज की जय। सुदर्शन महाराज की जय। बजरंगबली हनुमान जी महाराज की जय। गरुड़ जी महाराज की जय। चंदन चंद्र महोत्सव की जय। इस्कॉन कवेंट्री की जय। परमाराध्य पवन श्रील गुरु महाराज की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय, संडे सत्संग की जय, गौर ब्रह्मानंदे, all glories to the Similarities, all glories to the Similarities, all glories to the Similarities, all glories, all glories, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Guru Maharaj की जय हो, जय हो.
Haribol with the camera. Haribol, everyone. That was beautiful arti. Big round of applause for that lovely energy. You have to be in the temple to feel the energy. It was really, really good, you know. And so now we're going to say prayers, special prayers for loads of people, and Nrsingadev Arti. So it'll be for some departed souls. One of them is Bridge Sahgal, Delu Ram Roy, Surveer Pasi, Subhash Patel. And so now for leaders like Jabatak Swami, Lokanath Swami, Gopal Krishna Swami, Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, and many other Iskcon gurus and leaders suffering around the world, and their care teams as well. So special prayers for Jyoti Malan, Vinod Manjri Devidasi, Sudesh Kula, Bhakti Rita Lester, Rita Vadgama's mother, Premanjri, Shraddha Devi, Srimati, Premalan, Shanti Ben Salanki, Vijay Singha Reddy, Amritlal Chandegra, Brajlal Singaria, Gaur Hari Prabhu and his mother, John Devinder Kishobai, Takra Daniel House, also for Vidur, because looks like he's losing weight, and so he's getting checked up. Why is he losing weight? Because he's eating the same amount of prasad, and why should he be losing weight? Also Ratika, she had the stomach cramps. She went all the way to A&E, waited 6 hours, and they gave her paracetamol. And she got better. So also many other devotees suffering around the world, and many victims of Russia and Ukrainian war, and the general well-being of the whole world. And Nrsingadev prayers, especially for next week's festival on Sunday. Nrsingadev Chaturdasi ki jai. There's a drama. Can we say Nrsingadev prayer for the actors, because they only got a week to rehearse, and so that's going to be good. And also on the 4th of June, yeah, there's a Jubilee Carnival. We are hosting, yeah. So again, there's a drama, there's songs, there's dances, and we're gonna have a procession of Jagannathji going around the place. So we hired a tent, and we've been sponsored by Arts Council or something like that. So, and BBC4 are showing interest to come and maybe doing the filming of some of the parts of the thing. So children, you have to be on your best behavior, yeah? You have to be, yes, don't say any jokes about the Queen, because there isn't any, is there? She's too serious, yeah. So anyway, thank you, everyone. We're looking forward to all those rehearsals, and we need a lot of seva. Earlier on, Guru Seva was in the class was saying, you can have your personal sadhana, but then what about the seva? You know, service to the temple, because sadhana is just for you. But what about for something for the Lord? And the temple is the Lord's body and Srila Prabhupada's institution. So we will need loads of volunteers, even security and all that. When we have the tent out there, maybe we'll take turns to guard it, because loads of strange people come in the park, or have a security firm looking at it. We'll have to do something. Anyway, loads of Nrsingadev prayers. Lord Nrsingadev, please do come next week to our program and bless us all, protect us all. Thank you. Who's going to sing? Huh? Kunal. Come on, Kunal. It's very quiet boy. Oh, you wanted to sing? Oh, no. He's already been once and petrified. Here we go. It's different. There's the camera. Okay. You going to respond to it? Oh, you want to pay him money? Yeah. Forget his key. Give him a key first. Wait till he gets you a note. Give him a note. Well, 5 pound note will do. 10 pound note.
No.
Okay, play with it. Okay, give a note. What do you play on? What do you normally play?
Namaste Narasingaya Baladana Dadaine Ranyakashipu Vakshaya Shiradana Kana Kanale Hito Naseno Barato Naseno Yeto Yeto Yamite To Naseno Bahe Naseno Ritae Naseno Narsingamadim Sharanam Bhakade Kavakara Kamalamare Nakana Bhuta Shringaya Dalita Hiranyakashipu Dano Dringan Shethavati Kanana Hari Rokan Jagati Sahare Jaya Jagati Sahare Jaya Jagati Sahare Shethavati Kanana Hari Rokan Jagati Sahare Jaya Jagati Sahare Jaya Jagati Sahare Shethavati Kanana Hari Rokan Jagati Sahare Jaya Jagati Sahare Jaya Jagati Sahare
सिंहदेव भगवान की जय, गुलाम महाराज की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गोविंद हरि बोल।
When is the Kachi? Okay. Jai Ho, Hari Bo. So hope everybody enjoyed it as much as we did. Pata Pavan Prabhu, come here.
Cake.
Come here. So this is Pata Pavan here. How long it has been since your last visit?
A long time. Yes, we've had like discussions here about the arrangements of the temple.
Yeah.
But as Sankirtan,
Thursday.
Thursday. As Sankirtan, this is my first time since the lockdown.
Wow.
So this was really, really good. Loved it.
And you always bring very positive energy to the kirtan, especially even at home. The kids they were doing it, so I want to thank you for that. It was real feel. But having all the devotees,
it was brilliant. The atmosphere is totally different to doing it in your conservatory, to doing it in front of the lordships. It's totally different.
And having the mask on all the time, does that bother you?
A little bit, yeah.
It bothers me as well.
When you're doing kirtan or trying to dance, it's actually suffocating.
But when I'm singing, my chin brings the mask down. When you see that's what happens. And then you put it up again.
Yeah.
So, but it's worth it, isn't it?
No, it's worth it. After Prahlad Maharaj's Katha, you couldn't say it's not worth it.
All right, thank you for that. Jai Ho, Jai. So there you are, a guest who's come. Well, it's not a guest, he's my godbrother. He gave a lot of service. So he's coming up to a long time to experience this kirtan. And look, children are getting involved and getting used to, singing and your children, they loved it. It was really chaotic, but they loved it. And because they're happy, we are happy. Keep bringing them. Make sure they don't go out on the road again. They just legged it to the road. So now for all those, on Thursday, it's Chips Day. Oh, sorry, it's Ekadashi. So it's potato, mashed potato, all types of things. I love Ekadashi, honestly. Cottage cheese. And the Padwavan is laughing. He doesn't. I just love chips, cottage cheese, and all that kind of thing. I wait for it. It's in the evening, And sometimes I don't zoom into the Zoom because I'm eating my chips. So I love Ekadashi. So everybody else should try that. And in the morning, it's liquid potatoes. And samu something like that. Because the children don't like it at all. They complain about the liquid. So this is the austerity we were talking about. Hiranyakashipu didn't do Ekadashi. Children. Yeah, children. All right. So anyway, Ekadashi is great. So whenever you actually partake in Ekadashi, loads of your sins just go away. And, we are regularly committing sins without knowingly or unknowingly. Ekadashi balances it out. So please don't forget the Ekadashi on Thursday. And so if you come over here, Naval. Yes. Naval, I'm bringing him along here. So this is going to be your second Ekadashi?
Second Ekadashi, yeah.
I mean, how do you feel after the first one?
It was really good. I feel really good.
Just because you got a plate from the temple, that's why.
That's second weekly job now with Jariji.
Well, be nice to Pujari, he'll give you another one. And this Saturday, both yourself and Ritika, you came and we mustn't forget our Pragnesh friend.
Yes, yeah.
They came and they cleared the pit in the kitchen. How smelly was it?
Yeah. Lord help us.
He's suddenly become Christian here. He's done that. So that's good preaching. Take me gutter, make them Christians.
Yeah, I survived. I'll think I'll do better next time.
Yeah, well, you can see we've been doing for many, many years. And whenever somebody new comes, that's a real test. If they can stand the smell. Did he fail? Well, how did you fail? How can you fail just taking the bucket and throwing?
I was trying to be a Superman.
Oh, you're trying to be Superman?
Yeah, I was just flying all over the kitchen with the buckets and